Hello, welcome to today's reading. If you're here, trust that there is a message for you. I invite you to tune into your inner guidance, your intuition, your inner voice, to be able to discern what is for you and what isn't. But trust that if you're here, there is something that you need to hear right now. I'm picking up on quite heavy, ruminating energy. There's something that's been gnawing at you or bothering you with the energies as they have been recently. It could be something that you thought you'd already let go of or transcended or healed, and so it's surprising you that it's rearing its ugly head again. And then with that sort of renewed force from a previous challenge, I'm hearing that you're not being so kind to yourself as this is arising. And there's a reminder to practice self-compassion as you're going through this. One of the first cards that came out in the pre-pull is the laughter card from the fairies. So this is always twofold. Firstly, like a reminder to do what you can to take a more lighthearted approach to whatever you're stressing about at the moment. And it's also reassurance of lighter times to come. The two cards that have come out with that are environmental awareness, and we also have awakening your true self. So this card in particular, the description, it talks about realizing that perhaps in this previous chapter or in recent history that you've slowly made a lot of changes in terms of like shutting down certain wants or desires, maybe shrinking certain parts of yourself in order to make a perceived individual happy. And when I say perceived individual, what I mean is these changes, they haven't necessarily been ones that you've been asked to make, but rather there's some program that's still operating that is, has you convinced, like, oh, this is what I need to do for that situation to work out or for that person to approve. You've been sort of editing yourself and restricting yourself based on that perceived belief that isn't necessarily correct. And that now you're moving into, or you're in the middle of, an energy of reawakening those parts of yourself that you shut down, and of rediscovering, right, the parts of like who you are when you're unfiltered, when you're uncensored, when you're not trying to fit yourself into a certain position or, like a certain angle, or seeing like a pretzel in order to be accepted. With environmental awareness, like a lot of this is being reflected back to you in your external life, like hearing like in your household, in your place of work. Some part of the issues that are coming up are related to your specific environment, and there's something within that environment that you're not fully aware of or not fully connecting with. It could be as simple as like appreciation for where you are and sort of what you have around you, that connecting with that could maybe help with lightening up whatever heaviness you're experiencing. And then sort of just remembering the power of very simple acts. If your space is a reflection of how you feel about yourself and the current state that you're in, what is the space you're in right now telling you about the state of your internal universe? And sometimes if our internal universe is very chaotic and it's feeling like you aren't able to just shift it straight away, I would invite you to take a small step on the material. So maybe it's putting one shirt away, maybe it's throwing one bottle in the bin, something so simple that even when you have very low energy and you're really down, that you're still capable of performing that singular action. And then maybe there'll be a voice that comes and say like, oh, that's not enough. Like, oh, it's just, you've just thrown away like one thing. You've just moved one thing. Like, what's the big deal? How can you celebrate? Nah. Celebrate that right now, right? Like, shh, to the voice that wants to dismiss the step that you've taken. Really, I like to, sometimes when I'm really down in the dumps, simple as like sitting up in bed, I'll imagine like a full stadium crowd cheering me on and really encouraging me in that moment. Like, yay, Eva, you sat up, good job. So, maybe there's someone out there who would benefit from that approach as well. Anything you can do to make the misery a little bit funny, or anything you can do to make the suffering more comedic. What is it? Like, tragedy becomes comedy with enough time. Maybe tragedy can also become comedy with enough distance. And maybe that distance can just happen like in a moment. And, once you've had some time to laugh it off, if you really want to pick up all the worries again, they'll still be right there waiting for you. Right, let's pull some cards to see what the messages want to come out. Okay, so we have Swords and Scales. There's something around justice. We also have the Bedroom card. So this could be threefold or fourfold, we'll say. It could be to do with your intimate, sensual, sexual life, something that's being healed or causing issues in that realm. It could be your literal sleep time, like having difficulty having like deep restful sleep. It could be something to do with your dream world at the moment, right? Like what's coming up there. And then there's astral travel here, which is calling to me. So if you're waking up feeling still very exhausted, you might be unconsciously traveling on the astral plane while you're sleeping. I'm getting chills, which is a tell that there's definitely something there. Okay, let's see what else comes out about that. Some of you could be to do with legal matters or just some kind of like truth that needs to come to light or be addressed. We have childhood. So this is related to, like inner child healing, but there's also playfulness and new beginnings that you might be resisting. Okay, and then we have coming out there, we also have the cabin, the corset. Yeah, that's really tying into that feeling of, the corset, right? Like restricting yourself in certain ways, bending into shapes that you're not meant to be in. For what? Right? What is that for? We have a Dear John letter, so cold, hard truth. Something's not working. We have chocolate as well, so treating yourself. There's a bit of romance here. And then we have empty nest, moving on, no one's home, a cycle completion, emptiness, endings, a new life, graduating, making adjustments. It's a real sense of loneliness through this whole spread. Yeah, we have lonely coming up twice, like in the cabin as well. And then we've got slingshot here. So there's some kind of like tension and stress that's been building that's looking for release. Damn. So yeah, you're revisiting the past a lot. And all of this is unfolding in a very intimate space in the bedroom. It might be a feeling of like being with someone and feeling more alone than when you are actually on your own. Can we get some advice, please? And this is stemming from your childhood, an unhealed wound from your childhood. Okay. Something in what needs to be adjusted or what needs to be healed, and you going through this process, like I'm being shown why. You've got like Knight and Shield both here on the bottom of the deck. So this real feeling of like stepping up to a certain battle, stepping up to like a certain cause, being the champion of that cause and needing to awaken your fighting spirit and your fearlessness in order to do that. That all of this is almost an energy that you can channel towards fighting for a just cause, taking responsibility for something, building some kind of firm structure on a strong foundation. That this is what your higher self is wanting you to do with all of this pain that you're feeling. And that in fully stepping into this current chapter and all of the discomfort that's around it, it's really going to help you connect with the crystal ball within. So your own psychic abilities, your own deeper intuition, your own sixth sense. There's gut reaction here. There's seeing things clearly. There's discernment and perception. I can feel like a lot of anxiety and panic around separation or being alone. There's not that much coming through around the details of exactly how that's unfolding, but what's coming through very clearly is that the true purpose on that cosmic level of what you're dealing with at the moment is to awaken like a warrior spirit within, not warrior, but warrior. And the first step towards that is to find some levity and laughter in the situation. Anything else? Well, okay. We're finishing up on some reassurance. The Peace Rose often is a message from the other side, from someone who cares about you a lot. It also talks about renewal after hardship. And it talks about peace and having optimism and resilience as well, and hope. So if you find that you're losing hope or is needing some kind of reassurance, like this card is it, right? It's like someone on the other side is giving you a huge soul bear hug and letting you know that they can see a little bit more clearly the situation than you can right now because you're in the middle of it. And they're reassuring you that like they believe in you, you can absolutely do this, and to just hang in there. And whenever you feel like it's too much, to take a deep breath and feel their presence, because they're here with you, like holding your hand and cheering you on. And then that's come out with Hot Air Balloon, which is all about freedom. It's about going with the flow of things, about rising above and releasing resistance. So it's something like your resistance to the pain is actually larger than the pain itself. So it's like the discomfort and the suffering that you're experiencing in resisting all of this is actually far greater than what the pain itself will be when you finally decide to like let it come. And I think you'll probably laugh almost at how much easier that was than what you were expecting or like building up to. Any final messages? Baby steps. All right. We'll get one intuition card just to close out the reading, as always. Bring your attention back to your heart space. One final message. That's too many. All right, I'll take this one. Thank you. We have the experimenter. I am strong and secure enough to experiment as I see fit. Love.